is John. Hi. Hello. Can you say my name into this? Huntington, yes. This.
They said we should hit the ball. Let's help him. Did you hear that? We should.
Hi guys, so you can see we're at the Madison Seminary for the night. It is in Madison, Ohio, and it's a beautiful building. We just had an awesome tour, which I should show on here. It's just Joe, Scott, and myself. We have the whole place to ourselves alone tonight, so we're super excited. Josh and Seth couldn't make it. We wish we could have made it, but yeah, we're just gonna rock it tonight. We're just gonna take over this investigation, and it's fucking awesome. So it's a good time.
So welcome to the Madison Seminary. This is the oldest structure. It was built in 1847. It was first a school for boys between the ages of like 15 to 18. And the cool thing was when they graduated from here, they actually didn't have to go to college. They got their degrees while they were here. They'd be doctors, lawyers, some were priests, school teachers, things like that. And then in 1889, the Women's Relief Corps purchased the building and made it a place for women that were misplaced during the Civil War. Our most famous woman being Elizabeth Stiles. She was born and raised in Ashtabula, which is only like 15 minutes from here. At 5 years old, she could shoot a gun. By the time she was 15, she actually knew nursing skills from her mom. In 1862, her and her husband moved down to the Kansas-Missouri border. And back then, you were either Union or you were Confederate. She was a really big supporter of the Union, so every day she would go out and she'd raise the Union flag. She was a school teacher. And the Confederates saw her do that and told her if she did it again, they were going to kill her. She was a toughie, so she went up the very next day, raised that flag. They saw her do it, and they followed her to her home. Went and found Union soldiers, killed them, went back at nightfall, knocked on the door. They answered the door together, and they asked what their politics are. Both of them say Union. They shoot her husband, he falls to the ground. They put the muzzle of the gun in his mouth and blew off his head right in front of her.
Jeez. Wow.
So she screams and she runs and tries to get out the back door. They raise the gun to shoot her, and the leader actually stops the guy with the gun and says, "Don't shoot her, she's too pretty to shoot." So she gets away. And she wants to avenge her husband's death, and she joins the army as a Union nurse. And while she's doing this, Confederates are coming in injured. She's getting information from them. Abraham Lincoln actually finds out about this, writes her a letter, and asks her to be a Union spy. She agrees right away, and she travels across 17 different states with her granddaughter, Clara, who was only 13 at the time. And the two of them would just travel, and they would pose as a grandma and a granddaughter looking for the granddaughter's injured Confederate father. They were so good at their jobs, they got caught. Convinced them they were working for the Union, or for the Confederates. They just brought back horse, ammunition, food, all that they brought right back to the Union. The reason she's so near to our hearts is because she actually lived the last 4 years of her life here. She passed away here, and she's buried at the cemetery that's up the road. We used to own that cemetery. It used to be called the Madison Home Lot, because we used to own 170 acres. We used to have our own cows, chickens. It was like a working farm. Then that part was important, sorry. When we moved downstairs, I'll tell you that part. But she died here, and like I said, she's buried down there. And we do get reports from her as far as paranormals go, but it's not like all the time. It's not like she's here all the time. It's weird. Sometimes we'll get Elizabeth, sometimes we won't. We do get a lot of women singing, chatting. There's a 7-foot tall shadow man that walks this area. A lot of people think feels like he's a caretaker because he's usually walking in and out of rooms that he's checking up on the place. I actually saw him myself in this room over here. He was just standing there, and I was actually in the room across the hall sitting on the floor because there was 4 of us investigating in there. And I kept seeing something move out of the corner of my eye. I'm like, what is that? And as I look, another girl actually looked, and he actually took a step towards us and then was gone. And she saw the same exact thing as I saw. There's reports of footsteps on the stairs, all that kind of stuff. And this is the area I told you not to underestimate. There are some creepy things that happen here sometimes.
You guys would know, that's why, you know.
Sometimes I don't even like to come over to this side.
That's good to know.
So, we're gonna skip right over the next floor. You guys are welcome to investigate it, but it's the same thing. It was the school, it was Women's Relief Corps, same kind of hauntings we get down there as we get up here. 174 years old now. It's been many different things. Like I said, it was the school, Women's Relief Corps. Then it became, for a short period, it was called the home for the soldiers, their wives, their widows, their sisters. Pretty much anybody that was related to them could come here to retire. Then it became, in 1904, the Madison home. And that would be this side over here. It was built in 1901, then 1904 it became the Madison home. Which was a place for women who had dementia, Alzheimer's, stuff like that. Plus we also had retired military and their families still here. And then we had the insane asylum on the 4th floor. But in 1956, they brought in a program called Opportunity Village. And this is where they brought in women prisoners from Marysville Prison, which is still open today. It's actually an extension of Mansfield, it's the women's division. And we'd house up to 13 or 14 women down here. And most of these women were here for like theft, bad checks, stuff like that, petty crimes. And they would work with the elderly, taking care of them and learning other skills as far as like cooking, cleaning, all that stuff. But we did have one woman here whose name is Blanche Jacobs. She was actually here for double homicide. In 1952, her and her husband lived down in Cincinnati. She got caught writing some bad checks. He was very high ranking in the military, so she got like a slap on the wrist and let go. They moved to Columbus, Ohio. They moved next to an elderly couple, ages 73 and 74, Mr. and Mrs. Robinson. She befriends them. They're actually her landlords. She becomes very good friends with them. She starts writing bad checks on their account. Does over $1,400 worth of bad checks. They figure out that it's her. And Mrs. Robinson calls her on the phone and tells her, either you're gonna have to give us back our money or we're gonna have to prosecute. And she goes actually next door to talk to them about it. She gets there, Mrs. Robinson's in the downstairs kitchen baking pies. They get into a heated argument. Blanche picks up a rolling pin, hits her on the head with it. She falls to the ground. The husband actually hears the commotion. He comes down the stairs. So she picks up a butcher's knife, slices him to death. Turns back around, and Mrs. Robinson actually woke up and was running out the back door. She chased her down, dragged her back, and then sliced her to death. Takes both of their bodies up to the upstairs bathroom, cleans the hot house with bleach, goes home and tells her family and her friends that they went on vacation. After 3 days, she can't handle it anymore. She finally tells her husband, I killed the Robinsons. He doesn't believe her. He actually physically has to take, she has to take him to the bodies because he didn't believe her, so he had to see him. She turns herself in, tries to like say she was insane, tried to starve herself. She ended up in Lime State Hospital for a short period. They proved she was not insane. So she ended up getting charged with double homicide, and she has to serve 2 back-to-back life sentences. She ends up here after only like 4 months as an honor inmate, taking care of the elderly like she just killed.
Oh my God.
So we were like, what is going on here, you know? So we dug into that. And this building has always been military ran until the county took it over in the 1980s. So we believe with her husband being military, he probably had some kind of pull with getting her here to safety a little bit sooner. But the really cool thing is she was here during the last superintendent's stay. All the superintendents lived in the building, and so did their family and children and stuff. She became a nanny to our last one, Delbert Nixon, his children. They're still alive today, and they came out 2 years ago and like walked us through the building, telling us what everything was.
Wow.
And they were talking about Blanche and what a wonderful woman she was. She was the nicest lady ever. She'd get them off the bus, she'd play outside with them. Mark was like, she even came to my wedding as an adult. I'm like, I guess everybody had a bad day once in a while.
Wow. She's changed, I guess.
Yeah. As I said, even prior to her doing this, she was just a super nice lady. And she was only like 5'1", little short, tiny. It's always the short ones though.
You just didn't want to make her mad, I guess.
Right.
Unless the husband did it and she was covering up for him.
Right. It was just a weird situation because the trial went on for almost 8 months, even though she turned herself in and confessed. So it was like weird that it actually went on for so long. But we do get a woman down here sometimes. I don't know that it's Blanche because she did actually get paroled and she went to live with her grandchildren in Arizona, and that's where she passed away. We don't know who that woman is. She's never given us the name. But we do have a man down here. You guys, I don't know how it's going to go down here for you guys. Usually it's women. They have a lot of the reports down here because he does really like women. If men come down here, it's usually more they get that feeling of just get out, or they don't get a whole lot of activity.
John's gonna come down and drag.
Okay.
Whatever.
I'll see if I can find you.
Joe's probably the most feminine in the group. So. Too bad Seth wasn't here.
Too bad Seth wasn't here.
Perfect. Sethicus.
So the two buildings are connected. Some people don't understand that. I'll get over here and they'll be like, wait, aren't we going to the other building? I'm like, we're in here. So
It is kind of.
So now I clarify. We're going into the other building now.
Wow, I like this room. I always love the old wheelchairs.
Yeah.
It was in really good shape
Yeah,
too.
they're in excellent shape.
You usually see them, they're just like,
Yeah, they're all dilapidated.
yeah.
So this is the dining room area. This would be for the patients that were able to come down. Like I said, it was an insane asylum and had handicapped people. So there would have been some that would have been bedridden, wheelchair bound, wouldn't be able to come downstairs. So there's actually one of the old dumbwaiters that go all the way up to the 4th floor asylum. Those are our only 2 working bathrooms. We do actually have 9 bathrooms in the building.
That was going to be a big question I was going to have for you. So those are the bathrooms.
Yes. The sink water does not work. We have hand sanitizer for you guys to use, but the toilet's flushing everything, so you're good. And
John doesn't
it's
wash
just
his
you
hands
guys here
anyway, so that's
tonight.
fine. As long as the toilet's
Yeah,
flush.
it doesn't matter which one you use because it's just you guys tonight, and neither one has a urinal in this stalls. So, paranormal wise, down here we get a friendly spirit that we've nicknamed Grandpa. We actually asked him one day, "Do you like the name Grandpa?" And we got a recording of him going, "Yes." So we kept it with Grandpa. He does like to mess with you when you're in the bathroom.
Oh, I was going to ask us
When I
something.
come down and go to the bathroom, I'm always like, "Grandpa, leave me alone," you know, and I don't ever usually have a problem. But 2 winters ago, it was negative 17 degrees outside. We came in and we had a public hunt. Almost everybody left, but one man stayed until 4 a.m. in that freezing cold. It was so cold in here, we had ice on the walls. So at the end of the night, we're all getting ready to go home. I said, "I'm gonna go to the bathroom really quick." They're all on the back porch. I come in and go to the bathroom, and I forgot to say, "Grandpa, leave me alone," because I was freezing. I just wanted to get in and get out. Those doors are on slow closes. You'll see that they don't slam. I get in, went to the stall. As soon as I closed the stall door, the outside one opened and just slammed shut.
Wow.
So I come running out, go to the back porch. They're there. I could not have not heard them if they tried to run away from me.
Right.
I would have heard something.
Right.
Because as fast as I came out, so then I come back and I'm like, "Grandpa, go to the bathroom, leave me alone." And I went to the bathroom, nothing else happened. So that's just a little weird. Debunkable. K2s, EMFs, anything like that. This hallway right here has our fire system, the main hub for it. So you do get really high spikes in this area. And then next floor up, there's a little office area you'll see right there too. It tends to take it off there. Pretty much that's the only places it affects.
That's good to know too.
Didn't hear them. That should be interesting if it didn't die early. So as you see, we have a hole in the floor. There was always this urban legend that supposedly around the turn of the century, a school teacher went missing, a teacher's aide went missing. And supposedly she was having an affair with a higher up. Supposedly she got pregnant. She was coming here to tell him that she was going to tell his wife. Then she went missing. And supposedly she was in our floor. We had a TV show out two summers ago now. And we told them that story, and they brought in 2 cadaver dogs. And they brought the first one in, absolutely nothing through the whole building, until the one dog got like right about here, did a little pat and tell, took that dog out, same thing, all through the building, nothing, and then the other dog came like over this way a little bit farther. So then they asked me to do ground penetrating radar to see what we get. So they just did the basement area, and when they got to here, about 2.5 foot down, they actually caught an anomaly about the size of like one of those little mini footballs, those Nerfs. We dug, there was nothing there. We went down almost 3 foot, there still was nothing there. So actually they brought in our county's active canine unit. That dog wouldn't even go through the building. As soon as it hit the hallway where you come over here, it kept pulling and barking this way. So they just let him go. And he comes running in here, runs around the hole, and jumps on the pile of dirt, goes over here. Does a little pat and tell us something's here. So a couple different things with that. If we go with the dogs, they sent us back 30 years ago. So that rolls out to the turn of the century. But 30 years ago, the building was completely empty. And people knew it was haunted. People knew it was the old insane asylum, so people would break in, you know, and there were people who still had access, such as maintenance men and stuff like that. So somebody could have been buried here and then moved. Or if you're digging a hole, you may lay a body here and then dig next to it. And they said it only takes 3 days for that bacteria to absorb into the ground enough for those dogs to sense up to 30 years ago. They were very technical about what they told us about this. But I'm also thinking, maybe we should listen to technology, because technology, we all know, is not as reliable as I'd like to think that it is. Maybe we should listen to the dogs. Maybe she's over here. So if you actually look, we've actually started to tunnel this way a little bit and tunnel this way a little bit. Because why take up the whole floor? Nothing's here, but we need to do it slowly also to make sure we don't cave in.
Yeah.
This is a very active area. I feel like there's multiple spirits in this room, but there's definitely a man and a woman. And when you start asking me, the woman when she comes across, the one I'm talking about, is very, very quiet. And it seems like once you start talking to her and start asking her if she's the one that was murdered down here and buried down here and things like that, the man will start talking over top of her and not let her talk. Also, this room's known to get so dark. You guys know if you've been in the dark long enough, your eyes start to adjust. You can see your hands, you can see definitely where windows are at, that light that are lit up by the outside. These will get so dark sometimes you can't even see them, you can't see your own hand in front of your face. It almost feels like there's multiple spirits just surrounding you.
Stick the DR60 down in there. In the dirt. That's an old washer.
So this is the laundry room. That's why the washers are here. We get residual down here a lot with the activity that we've been down here. You know, when it was open, there have been a lot of laundry being done, the type of patients we get here. So we get a report of a man that walks through that wall. The wall is not original, so the building wasn't put into like the late 50s. If you actually look into this room, you can actually see the original brick on the other side where it used to be all open. The Nixon's children actually told us that was not an original wall, that wasn't there. So I'm feeling like maybe he just doesn't see that wall. He's just walking through that wall all the time. Because we try to interact, we don't get a whole lot with him. But there are other ones down here that will talk to you. I feel like one of the men is actually the man from the other room. He comes over here, I think, just to see what's up, because you feel like you're being watched. So it's really weird. If you watch Destination Paragon,
Yeah.
Chelsea Layden slept right there.
Oh,
And they had a
so
camera
that's-
weirdly about where you have your camera right now, and she was sleeping here, and they actually caught a shadow figure outside that window. And the weird part was it looked like it was almost lined up to where the fire escape is, but he looked like he was like off the ground a little bit. And whenever they gave him, Adam actually gave him the quick tour of the building before they went in for the night, and they never talked about the outside. And that is things that have been reported since I've been here, a guy that walks down here. Multiple people have seen it, but they didn't know about that, but they caught it on camera. So when we got to watch it as like a review party, and when we saw that, we're like, are you kidding me? They confirmed stuff, you know, stuff that we saw. So that was really cool.
Yeah.
Now, where did Chelsea lay? She was down here.
Yeah, she's up right there. That
I saw her,
washing
I
machine
just
was there.
didn't-
Yeah. And I said it weirdly, your camera is about
Right when it was set up.
Yeah, they got it set this way. Yeah.
Cool.
That's about it for this room. That is the holder. We did keep it because one of the estimators was like, it doesn't make sense to me that nothing was there. That usually sometimes like a fingernail, a tooth can give off a gas and make a pocket bigger than what it is. So we actually did keep it and start sifting through to make sure that we didn't miss anything.
What was that? What was the what? The dirt from
The dirt from
the
the
dirt
wall.
from the other side.
Yes. And what I usually tell people, another thing that is debunkable in the building is this is an old laundry chute that goes all the way up to the fourth floor.
So
side.
it goes,
It does, so, but you guys don't have a really big roof, so.
right, yeah, so we wouldn't be cross-contaminating each other. Yeah, I'm surprised, opened it up to a bunch of people and, nobody took on it, so. Just us three.
I think smaller groups work better in this building.
I think in general, smaller groups work better in paranormal period, but it's just been.
Especially these guys. It seems like about more than like 6 people up there.
I think it's in
Yeah. So this is, over there, was the hospice. They call them the waiting to die patients. I don't like calling them that, so I just tell people basically hospice, 24-hour care patients. And the room right here is like the family sitting room, but it's one of the prettiest rooms in the building.
Oh wow,
This one here.
Yeah.
this is nice.
That would be considered one that's on there, unfortunately.
Oh, okay, that's good to know.
That's why we say if the door's closed, there's please keep it closed, it's for your safety.
Oh yeah, this is pretty cool.
That is the original ceilings. We don't believe the floors are original, but they actually polyurethane that brick so it would stay better.
Yeah, they're too narrow to be.
Yeah.
And you can see the quarter round of it. Yeah, it's a very, very cool one for sure.
And then this is the superintendent's office over here. Yeah, this is here. And then this is the superintendent's lives.
Oh, that's gonna be a nice picture.
Dining room.
Wow.
And then these were the 2 living rooms. One was a fancy, like, entertaining living room, and then this one was a family living room. There's a reason I'm taking you guys this way. There's a story.
Okay.
I'm kind of saying.
I really like this floor. This is cool. It's really cool. It's like the same couch in the Contra house.
Was it family? Yeah. Yeah.
What, did somebody break the bed?
Yeah.
Bastards.
And that door right there, behind us.
It's terrible. That's what
It is. It's awful.
That door right there, it's supposed to be open. I don't know why it's not. But it's a walkthrough, it goes straight to the living room. That's the reason I bring you this way, so I can explain what happens next. We had the 4 superintendents throughout the time that it was open at the Madison home. The first one was Commander Weber. The second one was Mr. Otis Neal. The third one was Captain Wheeler. And the fourth one was Delbert Nixon. Yeah, they really broke it.
Yeah, it's terrible.
The second superintendent was not military. The other 3 were. The first one was Commander Weber. He did not like the fact that Neil was here and he was not military because they was taking care of military women and people who actually fought in the military. So he thought they shouldn't be here. And when him, his wife, and his daughter, her stepdaughter, moved in here, they gave up everything. Like they sold their home, they gave up everything to move here. They got wind that he was going to be thrown out. Supposedly that night, she committed suicide. The story went that she left her room, went through his room, out that door to get a glass of water, through the living room to get a glass of water. This is the only place in the superintendent's has where you can walk through a bedroom and then through the living room, so we believe this was her bedroom. And the story said that she came back the same way, stopped and kissed him on the forehead, came in here, wrapped a revolver in bed sheets, and then shot herself through the heart. And then her stepdaughter finds her the next morning. So there's a bunch of red flags with this story.
Yeah, it doesn't sound
One being committing suicide in this building. Like I told you guys already, there's echoes. You have your stepdaughter across the hall asleep, you have your husband here asleep. Right, there's doctors and nurses for the 24-hour care of patients, plus the patients themselves. Nobody found her till morning. So that was a little weird. I was like, what the heck? Well, then I figured out that, well, he said stepdaughter. So he had another wife. So I'm like, what happened to her? You know, I want to know what happened to her. So I look into that. She died of a broken heart. You don't die of a broken heart unless something tragic happens. Hello. Then I started looking into that, and he actually killed his oldest daughter. I found a small newspaper article that just said that Otis Neal's daughter did a mild infraction. He punishes her, and then she dies from that punishment. And that's all the article said. It didn't say what she did, didn't say what he did. So then, that's 3 women dead in his life with weird causes. So I dug into him a little bit more. When he retires from here, 16 years later, he didn't end up getting thrown out. His daughter is living up the road here, and he goes to live with her. Within 6 months, she runs out in front of her car and kills herself.
Oh, jeez.
So all Portland women are dead in his life. Well, then we find out, we dig into him a little bit more and find out that women patients here were filing reports against him constantly. He was taking their pensions, telling them they didn't need it, their husbands didn't fight, or they didn't fight in the war, their husbands did. They would leave them $10 a month, and that would be it. And it was free for them to be here, so their pension should have just been their pension. Then he had a matron, Emma Jean Marshall, and he was super mean to her too. It was like somebody was eating.
Did he die here? Or?
Mr. Neal did not die here, but he did die in Florida in 1939 with a net worth of over $59 million. It took him his neighbor 7 days to find him. So he lay there for 7 days and people heard that, which I think is karma if he did kill his wife.
Yeah.
But we also found out, like I said, he was stealing that money. He was really mean to the matron. It just didn't seem like he was too nice to women. I know he is here though. I don't know if it's part of the punishment, like because this is where you did your crime, so you're gonna do your time type of thing. But I know he's here because anytime I start calling him out on her not being a suicide, I don't get forceful, but I'm just like, I know. Explain to me, how did nobody hear it? Those are the questions I asked.
What's his name? What was his
Otis Neal, and her name was Mary Neal. So, and that's just something when we had the big shutdown for COVID, this is what I dug into as far as research went. So we just found that out over the last 2 years. All right, 1 1.5 year, whatever it's been. I can't even keep track of time anymore. 1.5 years.
So fast.
And if you guys think, even for a minute, that you're lost, why don't you get to this where you can see the stairwell, which is lit up. It's just a U, and this leads asylum and that up, main lobby down.
I'm gonna be the one that gets lost here.
Yes. Just whenever you're in a hallway, it's a big U, it doesn't wrap around or nothing, so you'll just be able to go to the ends and then come back. Once you get here, you see the light stairwell, asylum and that up, lobby down.
Okay.
And see, like, this is here because the police department in the 1980s worked out here, so they actually use this as their general dispatch.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Like I said, there's been many different things over the years. It was even up for lease, and they put in newspapers, caution may be wanted. And this is like in the 1980s. I remember seeing it as a kid.
There's something about in real estate, you gotta disclose it.
Yeah.
I think every state has a different law in regards to that, but.
Now, all these rooms would have been patients' room for the women who had dementia and Alzheimer's, plus like the retired military and stuff would be up here, and their wives or widows. These are actually those laundry chute doors I was telling you about. So like if somebody was standing here and they're in the basement, you're talking, you will hear it. Picture of it. There's actually a video online of this one opening and closing on command.
Oh, really? That's crazy.
And as you feel, there's not a whole lot of wind in this building. Even on a windy day, when you go here, the window's like a little bit.
This is the
Yep, this is Sarah's room. So on Destination Fear, this is where Dakota slept, and they had a paranormal music box on one of these two, and they had it facing the closet, and it kept going off. Weird thing about that is they also did not know that a lot of people have told us that that closet is a portal.
This one here?
Yes. I don't know if it is or not, but because I don't know how to know if that's a thing or not. But that's just what they tell us. Some people have told us it's actually an outgoing portal. Also, so Sarah is a child, they say, an 8-year-old girl. We're not sure exactly if that is what she is. It could be many different things, from something simple as a woman who had dementia, Alzheimer's, who's childlike. Because we do get a spirit in here that sometimes sounds like an adult woman that says she's Sarah. Or say I'm dead and I'm across the hall and you guys are always saying, hey Sarah, hey Sarah, hey Sarah. I may step in and say, I'm Sarah, talk to me. And then there's the thing of like a thought form. Basically that's like poltergeist-like activity, you know, like you can manifest that with the energy you put into a room. And even before Adam owned this building, everybody knew about Sarah's room. Back as far as I've had teams that have been here in like 2006 and they already wanted to know where Sarah's room and wanted to see Sarah's room. So you could put that energy out and create that haunting. And then the TV show that was out actually told us that it was actually a demon that was a slow burn. And it pretends like a child to gain your trust and ask for things, and the more you give it, the more you're feeding it this money. The very first public hunt Adam had, he did a recording in here, asked Sarah, what do you want or what do you need? We got the word money. People started leaving money, and then they started bringing her toys and dolls and all this stuff. So we're still not sure what she is, but we do know if you come in here and you act more like you're talking to a child, you get a whole lot more activity. Did you hear something?
No.
Okay. I seen your face for a minute. I thought, oh, do you see something?
No. I am listening though.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we don't know. Maybe we need to just not. I want to take everything out of the room and close the doors. That's what I want to do. And then open it back up like 3 months later and see what happens. Because if it is somebody that's used to somebody always spoiling them, and we stop spoiling it for a minute, what would happen? Adam always says he wants this building as scientific, you know, for the paranormal, so that we prove different theories, stuff like that. That's one way to do it. But also, if it's a demon, you really don't want to make it that mad.
Yeah, that's true.
But I believe in that stuff, but as far as us seeing one ever in our lifetime, it's probably very far in between, unless it's like you go to the Conjuring house, you know, or, you know. I don't see why there would be a demon here unless somebody did it years ago, you know, brought it in somehow. Just for the record, a lot of the equipment in here that they tend to like and we get a lot of activity with is anything that lights up or plays music. Those seem to be her 2 favorite things. I mean, we use spirit boxes and stuff in here. People can touch in here. We see shadows. A lot of times we'll hear a lot of stuff out in the hallway too when we're in here, almost like somebody's trying to get us out of here.
Right.
So with abandoned buildings come rumors. This is one that is a rumor. I've tried
Suicide?
digging into. No, this is
No.
actually a murder.
Oh, okay.
Supposedly a woman was raped and murdered in this bathroom. Of course, I didn't bring water in there, so it might get you through. We've tried to look things up on it. We haven't found anything, but we do get a woman in here, and we did get a recording of her saying something along the lines of it making it look like an accident. So we don't know exactly what happened in this bathroom, but we do know that it is active from time to time. Sometimes it's really quiet in there, and then other times it's super active. Sorry, I have asthma, and I usually bring a drink with me, because my throat's like getting tight. And I'm a smoker.
Yeah.
I didn't have asthma when I started smoking. This bathroom is a suicide bathroom. In 1979.
I knew one of them had it.
Yeah. Always.
Right.
In 1979, a man hung himself in the stalls. We believe we just recently found out who that man is. So I'm not going to give you his name.
Okay.
Just to see if you get a name
Yeah.
tonight.
Yeah.
Because we're trying to figure out if it's possibly him. But I'll give you a little bit of clues if we think it was a maintenance worker. That way you guys can go with that.
Okay.
But the police department are the ones.
When did this actually close?
It closed as the Madison home in 1975, and then it was abandoned till like 1986, and that's when the police department took it over, and the commissioner's office was in here for a while, and then it closed again in 1993, and then it was bought in 96. No, I'm sorry, that's wrong. It was 81 to 86 for the police department, then 86 to 96 it was abandoned for 10 years. Then
So
Castle's
the maintenance
open.
guy, did he break in or was he actually in here doing some things?
He had access to he still had keys. He would come in and check for frozen pipes because the county still owned it, the state still owned it or whatever, so they still kept a maintenance man for keeping the lawn, all that stuff. But it closed in 75. He possibly did this in 1979. We do know that that particular maintenance man did commit suicide in 1979. We just don't know if he was here. We're trying to figure it out. That's pretty much it for this floor. I fit my worst place to be on this entire floor. Everybody would think Sarah's room. It is actually where the hallway tees, that area there. I don't know why. We have no record of anything. I'm not the only person that says that. There's been other people. And I didn't think it at first, and I always just walk by it and I don't really investigate there. We had a team and, a guy, he was doing a solo in the building by himself. And he got really freaked out in Sarah's room, and he had me wait in the hallway. But I made him put on his video that I was in the hallway. You're not gonna see your solo if you're not. I'm standing there and it just felt like people were just all around me. And I actually messaged the manager of the building and I'm like, Addie, watch that camera because I am getting really creeped out right now. And I don't usually get creeped out, but it was just that, I don't know what it was. So that's how it was for this floor. Yeah, it was just weird. But maybe he was in there doing something to make Sarah mad. I don't know. I wasn't in the room with him to know what he was doing, you know?
That's at the end of the hall or right here? Not this one, down there.
Yeah, where it tees, yeah.
Geez, yeah.
Wow, this place goes on forever, isn't it?
Yeah, this place really isn't that small.
It's a lot bigger than I thought, yeah.
This will be the asylum, and then we'll be done. And it will be hot out here. Muggy. Stuffy.
What was this? Was there a staircase here?
Yeah, there used to be the Y-shaped staircase. One came up over here and one came up over here.
Have you ever been to Randolph Compton Farm?
I have not.
This reminds me a lot like it.
That's one of the reasons I think Adam loved it and bought it.
Yeah, it really does.
I've seen like it on shows and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, not a twin of it, but
Right, but it's
but
similar.
that's without question.
So this is their recreation room, or day room. This is where they would have been like when family came to visit, if they were doing arts and crafts, things like that. We imagine they probably even ate over here, because a lot of them wouldn't have been able to come downstairs. Because a lot of them were too heavily medicated, wheelchair, stuff like that. You are standing in the most active area in the whole building now, usually. I think you guys have a small room, but pretty active for you. Everything from people getting touch, scratch, bit, or all that is that. Poltergeist like activity, land anomaly, shadow figures, crawlers, footsteps, doesn't matter voices, just about everything we've seen. Or not personally, I've seen a lot of that, but not all of it. One night, me and Adam were here with the team, and they were younger. They were like all go. They were staying up to 4 a.m. We came up and we just did a recording with them because they said they weren't getting a whole lot. we're just me and Ed were standing over there, and they like circled around us. And I started hearing footsteps on the stairs, and I look at Adam, but we're recording, so I'm trying to be really quiet. I'm trying to get his attention. Finally, he makes eye contact with me, and and he just like shakes his head, Jess. And he goes, and EVP, and he'd say, as he stops EVP, you just hear like somebody running. So I just take off, and he's like, are we doing this? I'm like, we're doing this. And I thought somebody broke in.
Right.
I thought he was in the building. They left shortly after that. They didn't make us report it. They're like, we're out. This side from here, all those are patients' rooms. This was the surgeon's room.
Could take a nap right there, Joe.
Yeah.
This was what now?
The surgeon's room.
Oh, surgeon. Oh, yeah, this is, yeah.
This is a room that a lot of people tell you need to watch your emotions in. I actually did have a breakdown in this room. Some people say I have an unhealthy attachment to one of the spirits in this room. There's multiple in this room, but the one female, I don't know, I just feel like she needs help, and I'm trying to figure out how to help her and who she is and all that, because we don't know who she is. You guys know Steve Bruck? I know you guys said you know
Sounds
Warner,
familiar.
the one Matt Warner's always driving with.
Oh,
yeah.
yes, yeah. I mean, I know who you're referring. I've never met him, but
He
I
also
yeah.
had quite a. He actually lost time in this room, to the point where actually his mom was here with him investigating, and she was like seriously concerned because he wasn't remembering anything.
Interesting.
And,
Wow,
yeah.
that's scary.
This room here is what they call the Green Man or the Evil Man. I don't think he's he's somebody that's had enough of his life that he's going to be mean to him. He's going to be mean like that. The room over here is John's room. He's very timid. He finally kind of like down and talking, a lot more activity than just barge in, pop off questions, and he just shuts down. Sometimes when he's not in the mood to talk, the door will close by itself. And it's not like it slams shut, it's just like this slow, easy close. Like, well, thank you. Not today. And just because I don't talk about certain areas, don't think things don't happen there. It's just if I showed you everything I've seen, we'd be here all night.
Right, yeah.
So anywhere a door is open, especially if you're drawn to that area, go there, because they tend to draw you where they want to talk to you at. So, very, very cool. That's it, we're done.
Wow.
Go back to Google and back to shorts.
Is there a girl named Sarah here? If you're here, you say Sarah. Sarah, is this your room? This is a room.
Cool.
Is that your horse? Is that your rocking horse? Can you rock it for us? I'll get down the way. Sarah, do you know your numbers? What number is that card on the floor? Here. Thank you, sit horse. Hi, Sarah. Sarah, can you say hello? Hello, Sarah.
Sarah, do you want to play on the rocking horse?
Sarah, if you want to play the horse, can you say horse again?
Yeah.
Giddy up. Say giddy up.
lighting up. It's lighting up.
It's turning green. Thank you. We know you're over there.
Hi.
Are you trying to make it rock? Sarah, can you tell me how old you are? For a guy, say 10. No. You said no and shit. How many dead people are in this room with us?
How many of us do you see in this room?
I get cool breezes all around this. 11. I was going to say 11.
How many of us do you see? How many live people? Too many already.
Yeah.
Clear as day, too many. There's only 3 of us. Are you unhappy that we're here?
Do you want us to stay in this room? Or leave? Stay or leave? You want us to stay? Say stay. Sarah, do you want us to stay? Sarah, say stay.
If you want us to leave, can you light up?
Michael, are you here with us? You here? Yeah, can you say your name, Michael? Hi. Please, Mike. Okay, Mike. All right, Mike. What's up? Let's try and. Hello. Hey, John. Said, hey, John, right away. Spirits, if you can see those balls, what color are they? Balls, yeah. What color are the balls? If you're here and you're dead, can you say dead? Dead. Dead again. Can you please move one of these balls? That'd be amazing. I'd love you forever. What is this I'm pointing to? Can you see it? What is that? Flashlight. Alright, I'm just gonna sit down. So I'm basically alone at the seminary at the moment. Everybody else is kind of napping. Get him. Nice. Spirits have been kind of quiet tonight. But besides the spirit box, it's been pretty good, but very train going by. Hey Megan, hi Kalita. Everybody's probably sound asleep this time of night during the week. Dead again. Yes, can you please move those balls? Can you knock the blocks over and move the balls for me? Are you still here? You still here? Can you say I'm here? I'm here. Instead of it. Hello. Earlier you said John Huntington. Can you say it again? Say it. Yes. Can you say it? My name is John. Hi. Hello. Can you say my name into this? Huntington, yes. This. It said we should hit the ball, let's help him. Did you hear that? We should hit the ball, let's help him. This got goosebumps. Yes, you should help me. Can you please move the balls? Oops, sorry, John. Something sorry, John. That's funny. Any more spirits would like to come in here and talk? Can you say talk into this? It's just an old building, somebody said. If you're still in this room and you're dead, can you say dead, please? Oh. Yeah, we're dead. It says I'm dead at the very beginning, listen. I'm dead. Let's go take a little walk around with the spirit box, go and see if we get anything. Later on, if you watch this video, at the beginning was pretty cool. They were talking really well through the spirit box. Switch this around. Okay. So I'm trying to do this with two hands. It's kind of hard. All right, actually, I'm gonna go. I'll go up. Let's try a different room. Let's try this room. If anyone's in this room and you're dead, can you say dead? We did. Thank you. How many dead people are in this room? Can you give me a number? 6 something. What kind of carriage is this? Goodbye. Bye. Wow, that was a clear bye. Thank you. If you want to keep talking, can you say talk? Hi guys, I hope you watched to the end. I believe Madison Seminary is an amazing place. We didn't have anything too crazy happen, but we're pretty spoiled. Our group is pretty spoiled. But it's definitely a must-go-to place. I hope you enjoyed it. I will have a part 2. There's just so much more to go over. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed it. And like, share, and subscribe. And ring that bell. Thank you.